Good evening to all. Welcome to our Zoom session on cryptocurrency basics for our Fairies Kids Career Design Program. Today we have Mr. George Taragan and Mr. Anish Kurup leading our session. Yeah, we know that cryptocurrency is a big part of our digital world. I think you're all aware about cryptocurrency, I think, and it's important to understand it. Okay. Mr. George and Mr. Anish are experts in this field and will help us to learn about what is cryptocurrency. In our session, feel free to ask your questions and get involved. Okay. Whether you are new to cryptocurrency or know a bit about it already, this session will be helpful and interesting. I'm sure. Okay. Hope let's start it and learn together. Okay. So I would like to welcome our speakers, Mr. Anish Kurup and George Taragan. George, you can start the session now.
Okay, so what we are going to start with is not actually crypto. We're going to start with something called blockchain because that is the main backbone of how cryptocurrency works. See, the presentation is going to be a little tough to understand because there's a lot of technicalities involved. So I'll explain it much simpler way. So blockchain is like what you have right now as data centers or servers. But what we already have right now is a centralized data center, like someone else is controlling it. For example, Google is controlling some of the data centers, or like Facebook is controlling some of the data centers. So blockchain is like a particular new kind of system where it's not centralized by any one person or any one entity. It is a public server, and so the whole reason this was created is that so there's a more transparency, and it's immutable so that people can see what's happening. There's no fraud or something like that happening like that. So cryptocurrency works in this blockchain servers, so that the whole point of crypto was created so that people can see who's doing what, and if it's like original thing what they're doing, or there's no fraud involvement or something like that. So blockchain at its core, like what it helps you people to do is to do transactions from one person to another. So normally when we do transactions, for example, we have banks in India, like okay, we have Federal Bank from in Kerala. When you're sending a money from me, like for example, I am sending money to Mr. Vian. So you go through the Federal Bank app, or you go to the bank to transfer money to him, right? So over there, there are two parties involved. That is me and Mr. Vian. Like I'm the sender and he's the receiver. But there's a third party in the middle, that is Federal Bank. So the whole point of blockchain was created is that this third party involvement is not going to be there. So it is just between you being the sender and Vian being the receiver. That is the whole main idea of creating this blockchain technology in today's world. So there are three types of blockchain: public, private, and federated. So we are focusing on public, which is the most common one today. So as from the name, you can understand public blockchains are open, and there's no permission for who can read, who can participate, and who can see what transactions are going on. So all cryptocurrencies happens on the public blockchain. Like there are the most common public blockchain right now is the Ethereum blockchain, and there's the Bitcoin blockchain. So mind you, like Bitcoin is not the cryptocurrency. The cryptocurrency is actually called BTC. The blockchain is called Bitcoin. So that is called the public blockchain. Private blockchains, like companies, they have their own private blockchains for their own work, which is they need to have permissions for who to access them and all that. For example, if you know the company DNV, which is we are related to marine, so I'll give you the example. DNV is a classification company. In Europe, they have started their own blockchain system for ease of their what do you say, documentation processes. So they have a DNV blockchain in their head office servers, and this is only been accessed by the management of DNV in Europe to see the transactions. For example, accounts, or it can be accounts, it can be documentation, it can be legal entities, etc. So what we are going to focus on is the public blockchain part, because we are talking about cryptocurrencies. So how it works? So the first thing when we mentioned, we called decentralization. So there's no centralized person for this. So there's a blockchain server, anyone can access it, and from the name itself, like if you can hear like blockchain, so there's a block and there are chains. So each transaction when you do is into a block. Like for example, you purchase one like Bitcoin, or you purchase one BTC, that'll become of one block. And then if I'm transferring 50 fills or 50 cents of that worth of that Bitcoin to Mr. Vian, a chain is created. Like you can see over here, like this, a chain is created. And the next block is created saying that money is transferred 50 fills to Vian. Previous amount with George was like $1. Now George's balance is 50 cents or 50 fills, and Vian's balance is 50 cents. So every time it is being transacted to another person or to another entity, a new chain is formed and is linked with the old block. So every time the transaction is created, the old data is also saved in the new block. So that the whole reason for that is because it can show the proof that this is a right transaction and there's been no fraud happening, and it's trustworthy. So, and also every time a new block is created, there each block has a particular encryption. Encryption means like something like a password, if you think. So, and this password can be only created when the person who's doing the transaction, and it is like creating their digital fingerprint. This is to ensure that no other person is making your transaction, and there is no kind of scam happening. So it is just for verification. So that is how it works. And the reason, so whenever there's a transaction happening and it is confirmed by the node is the block. Like, because it is not controlled by one single entity, this blockchain is, what do you say? It is working with a number of computers. The computers are the nodes. I can give you the most basic example. If any one of you have used Excel, like I'm sure everyone knows Excel right over here. Yeah, so Excel is one part. Okay, if you look at Google Sheets, and you're right doing a document on Google Sheets. Google Sheets is the Google's version of Excel. You can add people to your Excel. You can add them as a viewer or an editor. So whenever you make changes on that Excel, automatically the other person also accessing that particular Google Sheet from their email ID can also see the changes happening. So if five people are connected to one Excel sheet, they are acting as a node. They're acting as five different computers, each acting as a node. So if I'm making a change on that Excel, the whole change is seen throughout in everyone's laptop, like without anyone doing anything. If I'm only doing it, automatically the change will come in the other Excel. So, and you can see in the Excel database, if you like, there's a way to find it out in the Google Sheets, the Excel, that who has made the change and what time it was created. So that's like the most easiest way to understand how it works. Five different computers working together. If one person creates a change, the other four people are able to see who created the change and what has the change been made. That's how the main working principle of blockchain, how it works. So, and every time a transaction is happening through the blockchain, it can be confirmed or verified using that blockchain itself. So there is a whenever a transaction happens, like I mentioned, each block will have its own hash key. You can verify with that particular password or hash key created to find out that this is not a scam and it has been done by the person who's owning that particular block or who has initiated that particular transaction. So these are the key features. So first is decentralization. There is no central authority. For example, you the banks in India, right? It is controlled by the government. The Reserve Bank of India is the main key player of controlling all the banks. All kind of transactions happening through a bank in India, be it private, be it public, or be it communal banks. They have to give that data, and the data is being controlled by the RBI and the government. Over here, that person like the RBI or the government is not involved. The transaction is happening only from the sender and the receiver. Transparency. Transparency, if you look at the literal meaning, it's like something you can see through it. So anyone can see the whole record of the transactions happening. No one can edit it. They are just a viewer. No one is an editor. Even the person sending it after they send it, they can't make changes to the block created. Once you do a transaction, it's done. There's no change. It's irreversible. Immutability. So, like I said, the data recorded on the blockchain, it cannot be deleted, it cannot be altered. And the whole purpose of this is so that security features, the next point, so that it creates secure transactions and it creating a tamper-proof chains of blocks. Tamper-proof means it cannot be altered, and each transaction cannot be altered in a way that you can scam someone or any kind of fraud can happen. Another good thing about this blockchain is efficiency and cost reduction. So when the third party is not involved, it's only between you and the receiver. The whole process time is reducing. I think if you guys have noticed, if you use like Google Pay or if you use any banking apps, sometimes when you send money, they say the bank servers are down. So your money will be debited, but the other person may not receive it. They may receive it after like 3 days. Sometimes they may not receive it. After 3 days, you'll get the money back. So because the bank servers are down, this happens. But here in this case of blockchain, there is no third party server or something. It's just the blockchain, the chain between the sender and the receiver. So all these process of transactions will be completely automated, and even the cost also will be reduced. Global accessibility, that is just like the transparency. Anyone can see it with an internet connection. They can verify it. And yeah, that's about it. Traceability also is a part of transparency. It is for reducing counterfeiting, like we mentioned. There is no scams involved. The whole purpose is to increase the security to have secure transactions. But again, like every other technology, like I don't think there's any technology in the world which is foolproof. Even though they say blockchain has the best security compared to any other kind of servers or any other kind of data management like cloud or anything like that, it still has its limitations. So for running a blockchain, comparatively to other data centers or servers, it requires a lot of energy. And that's the whole talk about why people are not shifting towards blockchain at the moment, though it was booming, I think during the COVID time. So it requires a lot of energy, basically. A lot of water is required in their data centers, but that's a whole technical thing. Then storage also, you need a lot of space, like physical space to create data centers for these blockchains. And only each block can only like have a particular amount of storage of this thing data in the nodes. Like they are still developing the technology in a way that it can handle many transactions and many data in one go. As of now, it's just on cryptocurrency. They've been working a lot more. Privacy concerns, though they're secure, no one can alter it. They're still visible on the blockchain network to the public if it's a public this thing blockchain. So your transactions, you can people, other people can see like who have bought what, etc. Regulatory uncertainty. So since this is a new technology, there has not been any regulations, laws, or procedures created by the like what do you say, the governing entities. Like in India, when we have banks, we have the banking acts are there, we have RBI rules and regulations are there for a bank to work. For blockchain, it has not been created yet because it is very transparent, and the whole purpose is to eliminate the third party centralization. Creating regulatory rules and regulations for this blockchain technology is pretty hard for the government to make, because then it becomes centralized. So the whole, it doesn't go, what do you say? It doesn't match for the whole purpose. And like security, like we said, like I mentioned, like no one can alter it, tamper it, but there are things like 51% attack. 51% attack is a type of hacking done on computers. Like you only need to like get access to 50, more than 50% of a particular digital tech, like the server or the this thing, and if more than 50% is affected, there is a chance that the rest 49 can also be affected. So that's one thing. Next is like different servers how work today with different like many servers work interconnected with other servers. For example, Google Pay in India. So in that, it's the sender receiver is there. Like I'm sending money to Vian, so me, I'm the sender, Vian is the receiver. In the middle, like your bank you're sending from, if my bank is Federal Bank, that is one of the server. Then the Google Pay server is also there, Google server also. So basically, there are two servers in Google Pay working, and then there are two people like the sender and receiver. But this Google Pay and Federal Bank, the banking serving servers of India, they are working interconnected like without any issue. Only when the system is down, you'll face issues like what do you say, your bank server is down and all that. But with the problem with blockchain is different blockchains cannot work with other blockchains for having interconnected usage or like something like that. For example, you want if a country like India wants to do transactions for other countries, right? Export. If they bring the blockchain in India's blockchain for transport, export, if they create a blockchain, should be working in align with the other countries' import blockchain, like receiving the money. Their banking blockchain should be on par with our banking blockchain. Then only it can work together. Otherwise, transactions cannot happen. So this all comes back to the whole regulatory uncertainty. Like they still have to make the regulations, they have to make the standards, yet it has not been made properly. Till now, what I've said is it blockchain is the main purpose is to take away that middleman. It is just between you and the receiver. That's the whole purpose. If anyone
Yes.
has a doubt, you can like ask me and I can make it much more simpler. Like if anyone
Yeah.
has not understood anything.
So, so with George's permission, and in fact, Vian, thank you so much. With their permission, I just like to put across quite a few simple things, because my sessions, whenever I conduct, if it is with Sohan sir, with the team over here, I always like to interact with children, and I think that is the best approach. So I would request some of the children who all wants to answer back can immediately unmute yourself and send a response. Okay. For example, let's say I can see your names. I don't know if this is your real names, but over here from the Zoom thing, I can see a person called Fauzan Farhan. I can see Cherish now. I can see Remya. I can see Joel. I can see Aryan, Chitrangada, Jeremy and Joshua. I find all their names out over here. Then more children are there who are attending this session. Wonderful. Archa. Hi, Archa. Long time. Then I can see Sri Kala, Deepa, etc. So very simple. I got my one friend is there here called Deepa, and Deepa wants to possibly do a transaction. Let's say I'm going to tell Deepa, can you go and get me a bottle of water from the nearest supermarket? So Deepa, would you mind explaining the process? How would you do it? How would you do it? Very simple, no rocket science. How would you go and get? I'm asking you to get me a bottle of water.
I'll walk and take the water and come back. Go to the
Yeah.
supermarket and take the water, buy water and come back.
What is a buy? Buy means what?
I pay for it.
Exactly. The word is pay over there. That's the most important thing, correct? If you just take the water and come, what will they say?
Uh,
That's called stealing, right? Or you're rude. So jokes apart. So you pay for it. How do you pay for it? Now let me ask somebody out over here. Fida, how are you going to pay for it, Fida?
Maybe by giving cash
Very good.
or through online payments.
Or
Online
online payments. Okay. How many of you does online payments over here? Can you raise your hands? How many of you have done or have known what is online payment? Yes, I got Amartya, I got Archa, I got Aryan. Very good. Ardra. Quite a few of you guys, correct? How do you do it? You just pay using your what? Either a card you tap or you use your Google Pay, correct? Using your smartphone. Today, your smartphone has come to smartwatch, and even in some countries, they use rings also. You can wear a ring also. And using the ring also, you can do a transaction. So this whole process where you used to have a physical money in the form of paper, paper coins have moved into what? Has moved into cards, smart devices, and
online payments.
very nice. Online payments. Correct. It's some or the other form of online payment. Very nice. Now, that is exactly what the whole digital revolution. So over here, what happened? The traditional method is physical. You pay. But here, what happens? You are documenting it. Whenever you do a digital transaction, you are trusting whom to process the transaction. Who is doing this transaction process being processed? George said that before in his transaction. Who is it? Who is processing it? Let's say Chitrangada is paying $5 or 5 rupees to the supermarket and buying a bottle of water. So who is processing this payment? Don't worry, say a wrong answer. I'm perfectly okay.
Bank.
The bank. Correct. So rule number 1, whenever I take a session, very simple, you should make as many mistakes as possible and get away with it. So are we in page on that? Are we okay with it? Perfect. Good. So typically when you do a transaction, it can be done by a bank. Okay. Now, when not exactly, it can also be a private company. For example, Google is the one who can do it, or it can be the wallet person or whatever it is. It can be one of these entities who would be doing this transaction. That is not your problem. Don't worry about it. Shh, rub it all. So whichever transaction you have paid your cash, is somebody writing that somewhere over here that Archa spent $5 today for a bottle of water? Fida spent $10 today to buy, let's say, Lay's chips. Vian spent $50 to buy a nice jazzy coat. Is somebody writing that when you're paying by cash that this transaction has happened? No. So now you said the correct answer. Nobody is. Why? Because you are doing that as a we call it as a manual or traditional transaction. Before this, what were the currencies used? Before you came into cryptocurrency and all, what were the different other currencies that existed?
Like coins.
Coins were there. Then before coins.
Yes.
So people used to exchange
Barter
Barter
system, they
system.
use barter system by trading the
Barter system.
Very nice.
barter system.
So barter system and paying this coins, in between there was something. Do you know what is it? People used shells. People used metals. People used different instruments. In between barter system and coins or notes. Okay. So whatever it is, you are giving a value to it. And that is the reason why it is. Now, when you do your transaction, it is not recorded anywhere. But when you do it on a Google Pay, Is it recorded or is it not recorded?
It is recorded.
It's recorded.
Why should it be
Recorded.
Why should it be recorded?
For keep it safe or something.
As a proof.
As a proof. Who said that? Aryan. Very good. That's the right answer. It's for proof. And for proof, why? There is a word over there. It's called accountability. The answer is accountability. For example, let's say I'm going to put names over here. So there is a person over here called Joel Johnson. Joel Johnson is a bank. And I got Mr. Fauzan, who is basically a person who is going to do a transaction to buy, let's say, this lovely headset, like that. So Fauzan wants to buy this particular headset, and I am the person who is the custodian of it. Mr. Fauzan, how much will you buy this headset from me for?
I don't know. Which money you demand I buy for that?
Which money? Okay, I'm going to pay it in dirhams. In dirhams. You're from Dubai, right?
Yeah, Sharjah.
Sharjah, great. So how much will you pay in dirhams for me, my friend?
30 or something.
30 dirhams. Pretty close, not bad. But I'm going to charge you, no. I'm saying this is not a cheap headset, my friend. This is going to be very expensive. I'm going to charge you a lot. I'm going to charge you 50 dirhams. Are you willing to pay for it?
Yeah.
Perfect. Either he can accept it or he can decline it. Okay, fine. Now, how are you going to pay for it?
What if I do online transaction?
You can do an online transaction. Very simple. So what I'll do over here, what George has taught you, that same mechanism. I'm going to give you an address. It will be like 16 characters or 32 characters, whatever it is. That is my address. Now, when that is an address related to a bank and a bank account, we call it as an IBAN. You can ask your parents, what is an IBAN? International Bank Account Number. It's called IBAN. But when it's a bunch of funny characters, 1635A, B, C, 643821, L, F, G, then again a bunch of characters. Add some funny characters, 0, 1, 2, and all the alphabets they're using. That is related to something called as a digital crypto wallet. You understood? It's called a digital crypto wallet. Yes, perfect. So it's a digital crypto wallet. Now, what do you do when it comes to a digital crypto wallet? You give a character this one. First thing I want you guys to do is immediately after this particular session is over, I want you guys to, George, I'm sure that George has already a syllabus over here covered where you can start your own wallet. You can start your own crypto wallet. It's very easy. There is no rocket science in it. It's so simple. Just go across to the website called MetaMask or go to something called Trust Wallet and download it and start doing it. Do not wait for your parents to teach you. This is a wonderful session where you will be teaching your parents something new completely, which they have never even seen. Your parents taught you how to use money, correct? You pay 5 dirham and you will get 2 dirham back. Then the price means it is 3 dirhams. So this is how you do a transaction. So, but when it comes to a crypto wallet, you are going to teach your parents how to do this particular transaction. Very simple. So there is something called the public key. Public key is the address of your crypto wallet. And please make sure that you stick it on your head. Why? Because whoever wants, they can immediately send you that money. That doesn't mean that somebody is going to send you money immediately. You offer a service and then only you will get it in back. So typically now coming on to this whole crypto wallet scenario, let me see if I'm able to trace. I will, because there are a few companies who I do advisory for. They pay me in my crypto address, the wallet, into my crypto wallet, they pay my salary. Why? Because that's the way how I do transactions. Now coming on to this, whenever you do a transaction in a bank, there is a book. There is a book in which has, like what George has said, in an Excel sheet. What is there? You will find debit, credit, debit, credit, debit, credit, debit, credit. What does debit means? What does credit means?
Debit is what you spend.
Credit means like gain.
Very good. Credit is what you get and debit is what you lose or what you spend. So I'll ask a very funny question over here. So, let me ask a very good question. So, how many of you like chocolates over here? Raise your hands. Okay, we got a lot of people who are chocolate eaters over here. Good. So that makes me as well. Okay, great. Now, I went to the supermarket and I found a Toblerone, and I found a Mars, and I found a Milky Way. And who all will pick Milky Way? Raise your hands. It's going to cost you 1 dirham for a Milky Way. Okay. Who's going to pick up a Toblerone? Okay, we got few of you who will. And a Toblerone is going to cost you 2 dirhams. And how much is for a Mars also? It's going to be 1 dirham. So how many of you are going to pick up Mars? Or how many of you are going to pick up all 3, all 2, whatever it is? So how much will it get debited from your account?
5.
5. Why? Aryan, can you give me a split of it, please?
Because Toblerone costs 2 dirham and
And?
Mars costs 2 dirham. So it is 4. And the other one was 1 dirham. So it is
So you
5.
bought 1 each. Okay, good. So you spend 5 dirhams over there. Okay, good. So did it debit your account or credit your account?
Debit.
Debited your account. Okay, fantastic. Now let me ask somebody over here. Archa, how much did you spend?
Maybe 6 dirhams.
Oh, she bought more chocolates than others. So Archa spent 6 dirhams, Aryan spent 5 dirhams. Okay. Now the question is very simple. It's not related to blockchain. It's not related to crypto. It's not related to anything. Okay. Now you know the prices of it. Okay. I'm the supermarket owner. I'm going to give you a 50% discount on it. 50% discount on it. 50% discount I'm going to give everyone out over here. So how much did you spend on it? Aryan, Archa, Fida, give me your number. Before how much and now how much?
Before 5 dirham
And now it
and
is
now 2.5.
Perfect. So you know how to do percentage. Okay. The next question is simple. How much did you save?
2.5 dirham.
3.
Ah, this is a very good. 2.5 somebody saved. Then somebody give me another number.
3.
3 dirhams Fida saved. Okay. Archa,
3.
3. Okay. But to me, none of you saved. Do you know why? Because you spend. And chocolates are not healthy. That's the whole point of this. That's the reason I was joking over here for you guys. So when you spend money on things like chocolate, you actually don't save money. You are actually losing the money. That's the whole joke. I know some of you took it as a joke. Otherwise, I'm sorry, it was a bad joke. So savings is all about preserving. Now, coming on to this topic of blockchain. What if I sell it? Brilliant. Now that's amazing. That's called entrepreneurship. Vian, please note this kid's name and details. We would love to possibly catch up with this child. Definitely, at any point in time, I would love to possibly interact with this child and put this child into so-and-so's have a chat list. Because I like that attitude. What if I sell it? Quality answer. Very good. Proud of you. Very good. Now, coming on to this topic. So just like in that particular bank, in the bank, why do they write it? What was the word? New word you learned today. What is the new word you learned today?
Accountability.
Accountability. Very smart, Joel. Bravo, bravo. Keep it up. So that gets written in something called a digital ledger. And that digital ledger, just like what George said, is getting inside a cell. And that is getting added into something what they call as a box. I'll show you what it is to be very precise. So think of this. Yeah, there you go. I got something over here just for you guys. Time out. Can you see this? This is a box. So just like that, it's a block. Think of this as a block. What I'm holding over here is a block. Now, if you hold in this particular block, if you save it, how do you connect this particular block? They will be writing some characters. Let's say Fida bought, went to the supermarket, or Fida's name will be there, supermarket's name will be there. Some transaction took place and Fida spent $6 over there. Alina spent $3 over there. Dev Prayag spent $10 over there. So in this block, it is written. But in Alina's account, in Fida's account, is it only $5 or $6 are there? They have a lot more money still inside, correct? That might be $100. And from that 100, only 6 has left. The remaining, how much is there in the account?
90.
94 is there. Now, what happened to the remaining 94? The remaining 94 also will be accountable, correct? Now, in a bank, they save it and keep it into the next block, because after buying this, I got somebody out over here who came and bought this for 20 dirhams or 30 dirhams or 50 dirhams from me. So what do? They create another block and they say that again deducted 50 dirhams and they bought something from Anish. So I get that money credited and that money will be debited from your account. So that also adds it into what? Into another fresh block. There you go. This is a fresh block. Into the fresh block, it again gets added. Now, if you just keep adding block, how are you going to connect it? How are you going to connect it? Only create blocks and send or what? Into the thin air. I'm creating blocks and sending into the thin air.
So
How do you
specific name?
By a chain?
buy a chain? Very simple. Correct? How do you tie somebody? With a chain. How do you do something? With a rope. So that is all what it is. So every block is related to a particular this one. Now you understood, is it correct? You understood what is a block? What gets inside a block? Correct or wrong?
Yes, sir.
You have done a transaction. Very simple. And that gets added up and that is called as a block chain. Very simple. Now, each of this transaction that happens now, example, in our company, there is a company in our company is called, let's say the company's name is Aries. In Aries, we are doing a business. Let's say we are going in a ship and doing a particular business. And we are getting some people from here. We're getting some spare parts from here, all these things. We are paying some people for some service and we are offering it to the customer. The customer will also pay us. So this whole transaction is happening through what? Through a bank. And whenever a transaction happens through a bank, they will charge something for managing this digital ledger. What do you call it?
Interest.
Transaction fee.
Transaction fee. Correct. Interest is there because, correct, what he said is right. Because if you don't have money, you take a loan and you still do the project. Correct. So what do? They charge you an interest on it. But if you have money, it's okay. You don't need, they will not charge you an interest. That's the same thing. For managing it, people gets paid. Correct. Now, when it comes to a blockchain, these data points are verified. There is a group of people called miners. So when I say miners, what is the first thing that comes into your mind?
Negative, sir.
Negative.
Negative.
Okay. Negative. Okay. Why negative? I
Low.
don't understand.
Line or something. A sign.
Miner. What is a miner? M-I.
Below 18.
Hole.
Below 18. Okay, that's a very funny question I asked. I'm sorry about it. A miner is a person who mines. How many of you have heard about people wearing a spotlight on their head and they go and dig holes and try to get something out, which it can be gold,
Yeah,
it
like
can be
mineral.
yes, minerals and all that stuff. So this miner's job is what? To search, correct or wrong?
Yes, yes.
So a person who searches and reports that Fida paid Anish $3 for a chocolate. Okay, the transaction has, that will be written over there. They will say, hey, Archa spent $2.5 on this particular thing. Okay. Shrikala has spent $50 on a headset. Fauzan has spent $10 on shawarma. So it will be in the block, it will be there. So these people who mine it are called what? Miners. And who validates it. But even just like you have despite you do all the exercise, you still have some sick or illness. How do you get sick? How do you get ill?
When like germs.
Germs, immunity, bacteria, all these sort of people come, correct? And they attack a very healthy person, correct?
Yes,
or no?
sir.
Yeah. So when that happens, so there are some wrong, ill-going people, bad people. They will go and say, Fauzan did not pay Anish this money. Chitrangada did not pay Archa. Dev Prayag did not pay Fida. Ta-tan. And what do? They try to make some corrections and do something wrong. And they will write it into a block. Because everything is happening, storing in a block. So they do it. But guess what? 51% are good guys. 49% are not necessary. Not necessary, but in some case, it will be 2 people. It might be 1 person. It might be 5 people. It might be 10 people. But still, the remaining people are all what? Good people. They will immediately delist this particular block and say, remove these people. They are doing wrong things. They are reporting wrong statements over here. Correct or wrong?
Yes,
Sir.
So that miners who do this, when they mine something, they will be getting a credit for it. And that is basically the miners getting rewards. And what is the reward they are getting in? Again, in another cryptocurrency. And where is that money going into? Their own crypto wallet. So now you learn what is blockchain, what is a person who uses a blockchain. You learn what is a wallet. You learn what is a public key. So where should you stick the public key? On your forehead. I'm joking. You should always keep it. So whenever somebody wants to do a transaction, what do you say? Pay it. Ta-da. And then they say, oh, okay, fine. This is fantastic. They will immediately transfer you the money. So today, make a promise that you're going to create a crypto wallet. Very easy. No rocket science. It's simple. George will teach you how to do it. The next thing, how do you do this? Each transaction gets processed and verified in a digital manner, and that will be preserved over there. That is called ledger, digital ledger. Now, before, when I did a transaction to, let's say, Dev Prayag or to George, who used to watch it before? This used to be watched by the banks. This used to be watched by the government. This used to be watched by every single person. That whole process is no more there. It has its own good, it has its own bad, because nobody will be able to monitor it. So that I leave it up to you people, whether you want somebody to monitor you, does not want to monitor you. But I have all the problem if these people monitor and they take money from me, because they maintain my ledger does not mean that they need to charge me money. Very simple, very rocket. There is no rocket science in this. Blockchain is nothing but storing your values into blocks, and so many blocks are there. So how do you connect it? You connect it using a chain. And where do you store it? You store it in a wallet. Very simple. This is how you do a transaction in a blockchain. Now, what all can be transacted in a blockchain? You can transact cryptocurrency token. How many of you want to make your own tokens? Your own money. Just imagine you create your own money with your own photo inside. Everybody wants to do it, correct? So I'm going to paste it over here. There is a small link. I will paste it over here. It's called mintme.com. I want you people to visit this particular link when you get time. After the exam seasons are all over, visit this website called mintme.com. It's there in the chat. Keep it over there and learn how to use it. Just like how we do. MintMe can create your own cryptocurrency with your own face inside, and you can say, for example, I have my own crypto. It's called Anish token. Now I can see over here, there's a person called Ardra. So it'll be called Ardra token. Or you, instead of my daughter has she's into all these Greek goddesses and gods. So she has a token called Athena token. I have no idea what it means. But George can come up with something called, let's say, George's token. Vian can come up with a token called his new movie project's name and say, that is my token. And so each people can create their own token inside. And you can do some sort of transaction. Friends can transact. One. There you go. You keep transacting. Okay, fine. I'm going to give you my headphones for 1 day. Go and play. Can I borrow your book? Yeah, sure. What is the name of this book? It's called 13 Problems. Okay, fine. This is a red book. Do you want it? Yeah, sure. Pay me Anish tokens. Pay me Chitrangada tokens. So you can do this among your friends. So you are not using real money, but you are using something as a medium of exchange. It's very fun to play with tokens. That's what this whole crypto world is all about. I'll give you a very interesting fact. The very first cryptocurrency was which one?
Dogecoin.
Huh? Doge. No, Doge is not the first coin.
Is a Bitcoin?
Bitcoin. Very good. So in now we'll do some maths. How many of you like maths? Not many people over here likes maths. Even I don't like maths. Okay, very simple question. So 5 apples cost 10 dirhams. So how much does 1 apple cost?
2.
2 dirham.
Very good. Very good. Fantastic. So the first Bitcoin transaction that happened, how many of you are having, okay, the first Bitcoin was purchased for, so Bitcoin is like AED stands for what? Arab Emirates Dirham. INR stands for Indian Rupee.
Indian
Same like that,
rupees.
BTC stands for Bitcoin. So the first Bitcoin's price was point, write it down. Have a calculator in front of you. Don't do the manual calculation. I don't like manual calculation. Take a calculator or take a mobile phone. Today you are exempted. No using manual mathematics. That is meant for old people and people who are not modern. It's not cool. So 0.00099 was the price of 1 Bitcoin. Okay, was the price of
Zeros
3 zeros.
and 2 9.
And 2 nines. But there is a decimal in between, huh? Because if you don't put the decimal, the zeros have no value at all.
Okay.
So the first Bitcoin was approximately at 0.0009 in 2010, 2009, 2010, approximately that time. But do you know how much is Bitcoin's price today?
4 lakhs. No,
Let's take
80,000?
Oh, that's pretty close. Not bad, Isha. It's $68,000. 1 Bitcoin is $68,000. Now tell me, if Isha purchased $1 worth of Bitcoin in 2009, I know that she was not born. Her father was there, of course. So
I was
Isha,
very much born actually. I was born
pardon
in
me?
2007.
You were born in 2007, but did you have means to buy? I'm joking.
No, I
Okay,
did not.
good. My bad. I'm sorry. Okay, because I see all of you as little kids. That's why I'm sorry about it. So Isha's parents bought $1 of Bitcoin in 2009 for 0.00099. And Isha today wants to buy a car. Which car do you want to buy, Isha?
A Tesla.
Tesla. I thought you'd be saying something good, something big. Why Tesla is like again, okay. Okay. Somebody say me an expensive car, a very expensive dashing car. See, Isha is like went.
G-Wagon.
Ah, there you go. No, that's my boy. G-Wagon. Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah. So G-Wagon. Huh? Pardon
McLaren.
me? McLaren. That's what we are talking about. Finally, we are getting boys talking about that. It's their business to talk about cars. So
I said G-Wagon.
you said G-Wagon, my bad. Fida, I'm sorry. Nice. Okay, good. Okay. So put her into that gang of cars. Okay, great. So Fida is going to buy a G-Wagon and Isha is going to ask, okay, guys, guess what? Isha is going to fund all your cars. How about that? I want to know what's the price of that $1 of Bitcoin today. Tell me the answer.
68,000 US dollars.
$68,000.
1 dirham of $1 of Bitcoin in 2009 was 0.00099. And today, what is the price of $1 of Bitcoin, which you bought that day?
68,000.
8,000.
No,
68.
no. Again,
No, I
5
think
apples
I think the
cost.
wording like should be a little more clear. Like,
George, phrase it right, please.
okay, so okay, in 2010, 1 Bitcoin was
See, that's right.
0.00099. Let's do
Very
step by
nice.
step, okay? So if you bought $1 of Bitcoin, $1 worth of Bitcoins, how many Bitcoins would you have in 2010?
Yeah.
No Bitcoins.
No Bitcoins. Just like I don't know how many like of you like done the maths like okay, just think of it like this. One Bitcoin, don't think about today, think about 2010. You guys are in 2010 at the moment. Okay. One Bitcoin is 0.00099, right? But you 0.00099 dollars for one Bitcoin. But you have $1 with you. So how many Bitcoins would you have?
One.
What?
Thousand. Valid point. Now I am seeing intervention of adults inside this. Mr. Arshad, you are politely asked to keep quiet.
Is it 1 by 68,000?
Exactly.
No.
No,
We are not
no,
about
no,
8,000 now.
no.
We are talking about only 0.0099 now at the moment. So you're nearly close.
Okay, I'll rephrase it. I
Did
got
someone
the
say
whole thing.
1,000?
Is
Did
it
someone say
1
1,000?
divided by 0.00?
Yes.
Yes, Deepa, that's the right answer. Correct. What is it?
1010, right?
Yeah, so
1010.10.
1010 Bitcoins. Now, what
So
is
you
the
have
price?
1,010 Bitcoins with you in 2010. Okay. So that was when the price of Bitcoin was 0.00099. Now today, you haven't touched your Bitcoin, you forgot about it, you had school and all that, you went on with your life, and suddenly you're hearing on the news that Bitcoin's price has went from in 2010 0.00099, and today one Bitcoin is 60. Okay, let's take a rounded number. Let's say 60,000.
Okay.
Now, how much dollars worth of Bitcoin do you have? Your quantity is your volume is 1,000 Bitcoins. That's the amount of Bitcoins here. 1,000 Bitcoins. So, and now one Bitcoin is $60,000. So how much money you have in total?
60,606,060.
6 million.
60 million, I got.
60 million.
Plus or minus. Okay, fine. We are going to go
Plus or
ahead.
minus.
Now you understood what is the value of a Bitcoin. So do this maths. 1 divided by 0.00099, and then whatever answer you get is basically 1010 Bitcoin you will be getting. And for $1, you got 1010 Bitcoin. Now 1010 Bitcoin into 68,000 today is whatever you're getting the answer today, that is the answer. And that is why I said Isha can fund car for everybody in this room. So we got a McLaren coming out in the road. We got a G-Wagon coming out in the road. We got a Tesla coming out in the road. We got all the rides, a Ferrari coming out in the road. Now you understood what is the price of it. That is what these coins can do. But just like how these coins have its value and its price, the same way you can be cheated as well. So I rest my case over here. You learned today what all, one by one. What all did you guys learn?
Accountability.
Accountability. Next.
Blockchain.
Digital
Blockchain.
ledger.
Okay.
Ledgers. Blocks. IBAN.
Debit and what is credit?
Debit, credit. IBAN.
Crypto wallet.
Correct?
Blocks.
So whenever you finish So whenever you finish a day class like this, immediately write it into a piece of paper. Today, what all I learned is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You learned what is a digital wallet. Digital wallet is nothing. You're the same wallet which sits inside your dad's pocket. When it comes into your dad's mobile phone, it's called a digital wallet. Simple. No rocket science. And inside that, you can preserve all the currency. That's all. So and please check out mintme.com and start minting your own cryptocurrency. So by next class, we can all see people having their own cryptocurrency with their smiling faces over there. And you can say, there you go, your own digital. Yeah, you can print, publish. But if you print something over here in a piece of paper, what happens with your face and say, this is my currency in a paper, they're going to put you behind bars. So let's not get into that. Let's get into digital currency and play around still. Nobody will arrest you for having your own digital currency. Everybody can have their own digital currency. Nobody can do anything to you for that. It's a safe way to have fun. So, Vian, did we cover the specific topic?
Of course. I think
George,
I can see the response in the students' face. I think they are all aware about the basics of crypto.
wonderful.
So
They
let's
should be
conclude, right?
available. Yes. And I will, let me see if give me 30 seconds. Let me just check my Telegram if I'm able to possibly find that transaction somewhere over here. I will share my screen and I might be able to show you my paycheck which has come as a crypto.
Okay, please.
Who mentioned about Dogecoin over here?
Yeah.
I was
Okay. So now, like, you when we were discussing about in 2010 it was 0.00099 and today it's $68,000. Uh, okay, how many people like it came to their mind like how can something's value just increase like that?
like when more people invest money on those currencies.
Okay, let's do the basics. Let's talk about how is currency. I'm sure most people may not know. You guys may get it wrong, but that's totally fine. Like, that's not an issue. How is a currency in a country's value determined? Let's take India, for example.
When people use it more and more,
That's one thing. Okay.
and when the prices value increases, and things value increases, price.
Okay. So there's something to back it
Export.
up. So, yeah, someone, Isha and Maithili, yeah.
So I think the value is also determined by the amount of printed money in the country.
Okay. And what determines the amount of quantity of printed money to be printed?
I feel like the more the printed the money, less will be the value of the currency.
Very
Okay,
good.
so
Excellent.
very true. That's correct. So what is that thing which determines how much money should be printed? Which keeps the value of the money stable?
The requirement for the money in the country.
That is one part. Okay. So in India and in like US also,
The
like
gold
what
reserve
is
in the country.
yes. So gold. So like I think when
So good.
Anish was saying, we were before we were dealing with coins, people were doing barter system. Between that, people were buying things with materials like gold, silver, right? So gold today has kept that standard because that is the standard for a value of a currency. Gold. It could have been silver, but no, but they had to take the most like what do you say? There should be a standard of keeping something's value high. So when you think about crypto, what keeps a crypto's value high? Because it's decentralized, governments are not taking care of it. They have no power over crypto. So how does it just jump? Or how does it just fall? Because from 0.00099 to $68,000, that's a 2,000%, 3,000%
Oh, much
overall
more,
jump.
much more. It's a
Much more.
it's a
Yeah,
million
actually, I think it's more than like
percentage.
10,000% or something like that.
Much more,
Yeah,
much
yeah.
more.
Tell me, someone raise their hand.
Yeah, if the more buyers than the sellers, the price increases.
Very
And if the
good.
more
Okay.
sellers, the price decreases.
Very good.
So
So he
yes,
got,
so
he's
you
got his
came to
numbers
that
right.
part of something we need to discuss called demand and supply,
Yeah.
Yes.
right? And how many of people have come across these two words called demand and supply?
Very nice. I got one student over here, Amartya. I got Joel.
Joel.
It's simple. It's simple.
It's simple.
It's just
Like,
see, just say this
you
headphone.
look at the most basic thing what we do. I think in Kerala and all we do, or like in Dubai also, mango season. That's
Yeah.
when everyone wants mango. There is a limited supply of how much mango is being made. Prices are very high. So when the demand is high and supply is low, the price goes very high. And for people who are living in Dubai, maybe you have come across this. During a vacation time, you want to go back to India, flight tickets during December is like skyrocketed. Like two ways will cost up to like 3,000 dirhams and all at times,
Yeah.
up and down.
6,000.
But off
6,000.
season, it's literally like 1,000 dirhams you can go up and down.
Yeah.
Why? Because in December time, everyone wants to go to India. So the demand is very high. There's a limited amount of seats and airplanes going to India. There's no infinite airplanes going to India, right?
So guys, coming over, you can see right now on the screen is my salary I have received. So I did a service for a company called Shisha Finance. They paid me 2,400 Shisha tokens to my wallet. This is another transaction. This happened 805 days back on Jan 1st, 2022, whatever it is. This is my another paycheck, $1,250. So whenever we spend time in a particular project, people get rewarded in the form of this one. And this money comes as a salary in your crypto wallet. So there are different things. Okay, I'm going to take it in a mix of BT. It's just like you go to a fruit and vegetable market. Nobody goes to a fruit and vegetable market and say, okay, I'm just going to buy apples and come back. No, you buy apples, you buy orange, you buy strawberries, you buy jackfruit, you buy whatever you want. So same way, you say that, okay, I will accept my salary as BTC, BSC, USD, Shisha token, which is their traditional token, and the other particular currency. Isha, please go ahead. What is your doubt?
But how can we utilize these tokens or coins?
Very nice. Now, for example, I'm a person who's having this particular headphones to sell, correct? Now, I can say that I can ask you in AED or I can ask you in these particular cryptocurrencies. So it depends on whom you're working with. So if you go to Dubai Mall, there is a particular shop where you can pay using cryptocurrency. In Dubai, you can buy property using cryptocurrency. You can buy car using cryptocurrency. So it depends. In certain parts of the world, they accept it. In certain parts of the world, it's a taboo. But now these days, nobody says a taboo. In one time of the world, there was a statement that if you use cryptocurrency, you will be put behind bars. In 1987 or 1960, I'm not sure, one of these particular 2 years, teachers went on a strike for allowing students to bring calculators to school. Imagine that. Those teachers should be put behind bars, right? Calculators make your life a lot easier. It's good that you know how to do multiplication. But if you want to be efficient, will you sit on a piece of paper and you will start writing? I don't want to do it. You can ask me what is 9 9s are 81. 8 4s are 32. You can say that by heart. But when you want to be efficient, when you need time, you need calculator. That's why I asked you all, use a Calci. Use a Calci. Now, if you think that you can write and show that you're smart, nobody wants that sort of people. People who are efficient is what we need. So I rest my case. So this, Isha, good question. Who will accept it? I, as a person, am happy to accept it. There are shops available to accept even chai over here in Dubai. There are shops where you can buy using Bitcoin or USDT. And there are today over millions of different type of cryptocurrencies, just like Doge, Cardano, Shisha, you name it, that Tron, millions of cryptocurrencies are there. Now, each of you after this class will start making their own cryptocurrency. So there you go. You got another 30, 40 currency more. Amartya, please ask your next question.
Can we convert these coins into real cash?
Yes, you can. That is why we call it as a crypto exchange. You go to a crypto exchange or you go to somebody called OTC, over the counter.
Sir, can
Go
we
ahead.
transfer only between two crypto accounts, or can we use any other bank to transfer?
You can transfer. It's just like this. You can transfer it into a bank's crypto vault or into a wallet. And just like, for example, let's say Deepa is going from India to Italy. And in Italy, what is the currency they use? Euro. Can you go to the shop over there and give Indian rupee? They are not going to accept it, correct? What do you need to do? You need to convert it into Italian currency. So what do? You go to an Italian bank or you go to an Indian bank and say, I want to convert this into euro, and then you transact it immediately, or then you go to the shop and pay it in euro. But when it comes to crypto, the good news is the shopkeeper is willing to accept it.
Because it's like how we discussed this, it's not a central currency of a particular country. It's a worldwide. That's the concept
worldwide
that they're trying to bring. So, but I think again, what comes to your mind is you buy something with Bitcoin. For example, you bought something for 0.0099 in 2010 using the one Bitcoin. But after 10 years, you're finding out you gave that guy one Bitcoin. Now it's worth $70,000.
There you go. I'll give you one more. I actually expected a question from every single one of you, which you did not ask me. I said that some countries, it is a crime to hold Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, correct?
Yeah.
Why nobody asked? Nobody asked why. I said, right, you can ask any questions you want.
It can be used for illegal purposes.
Exactly. The first transactions that took place in the crypto was for good purpose, like buying a pizza, buying a beer, enjoying out with friends, clubbing, etc. But you know what? Eventually, Bitcoin came in to be used for. Bitcoin was eventually used for doing illegal transactions. What is illegal transaction? Buying weapons, buying ivory, buying drugs, buying all the illegal things in this planet. Somebody even paid Bitcoin to kill somebody. It is just like your knife in the kitchen. When your mom is using, what does she use the knife for? Cutting vegetables and meat and fish. For cooking. Yes, to aid her cooking. The same knife, if it reaches your dad, who might be a doctor, or your mom, who is a doctor, in an operation theater, why do you use a knife for?
For cutting.
Cutting
For
the
a surgery.
for a surgery, for a treatment. Same like that, the same knife in the hand of a criminal, what will he do that for?
Kill someone. Murder.
Killing, threaten, all that stuff.
Salvage.
Same way is how cryptocurrency was. Cryptocurrency is used, actually, it was created for a noble purpose. But in 2000, I don't want you to, I know a few websites name. I don't want to say that. You guys are just having your March exam time and all that sort of stuff. Sit and study. After that, I'll open the Pandora's box in some other session when we are having it. Right, Vian? I will tell you, they used it for a lot of bad things. And when they did it for bad things, they said that cryptocurrency is bad. But in reality, cryptocurrency is not the person who is bad. It's the people who used are bad. And their intentions are bad, not the currency. So, Joel, you have a question. What is it, my friend?
Sir, can we convert the type of cryptocurrency?
We can convert it into whatever currency you want, my friend, as long as you have a buyer on the other side. It is just like saying you are growing potato in your garden. Can somebody buy it from me? As long as there is somebody who can buy from you, you're more than happy to use it.
That's why a lot of for example, I was telling, if you buy something like using Bitcoin, for example, I think there was a whole case in 2010 where one guy he paid his Domino's delivery driver using 30 Bitcoins. I think he must be regretting it right now.
Yeah.
Because he could have bought a house with the 30 Bitcoins today. He would have been
much more than that. Much more
than that. He would have been a multimillionaire. But so what companies do right now, there's something called CBDC. That's like central bank cryptocurrencies.
Digital currency, yeah.
Yeah,
CBDC.
digital cryptos. So these are cryptocurrency, or like these currencies are the most literal meaning of digital currency. Basically, the US dollar as a digital currency. So there's something
No,
called
INR is there. INR is a
INR is
5
there.
banks.
Yeah, but INR is not
5 banks in
regulated.
India.
Yeah, but INR has no regulations as per compared to USDT. That's why I took the case of USDT. So USDT is US dollar token. So people who buy things with cryptocurrency, when they receive that particular Bitcoin, they will convert it into USDT so that the prices will never fluctuate, because USDT price is same as the actual dollar price. So only if dollar changes, the USDT price will change.
So basically, let's say I will tell over here, there is a person in India. Before, people used to take a lot of bad loans. People used to take a loan to buy a house, and with that money, what do? With that money, they used to do something else. But today, now digital currency is there. They can control what it is used for. They cannot use it for any other particular purpose. So I'm concluding my session out over here as we speak. It was wonderful having you guys all over here. Whenever you have a session like this, please be open to asking as much as doubts as possible. And I
think
hope
the
that
last part, I'll just show you
please.
guys how to create a wallet. Like, you guys should be like fully focused in that. And I
Yeah,
will give you a link also for a video tutorial if you have doubts every time you want.
You should do that. You should do that.
Yeah. See, there are many ways you can buy a crypto. Like what Anish said is, like, there are brokers, right? There are exchanges, and there's another way is wallet, which is the most easiest way for a normal human being to buy a crypto on it. So if everyone can like take this down, this is the wallet called MetaMask. Okay. I hope everyone can see this, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is the crypto wallet, and this is used to interact with the Ethereum blockchain. Like if you guys have heard of the other crypto called ETH or Ethereum. So you go to this particular website, and always please access it by your laptop, right, Anish? Not phones, right?
No, it depends. It's purely depends. If they are ready to take care of their laptop. If they are ready to take care of their phones, the
Yeah,
phone.
so like which one you guys are like preferred to use all the time? Yeah, just use that. So you download this, you click on download. So you have Chrome, iOS, or Android, and you install MetaMask for Chrome. So in Chrome, it acts as an extension. Like you guys know what an extension is, right? For a Chrome browser. So you add it as an extension. So this is I'm just showing you how to start a new wallet. So you click on create a new wallet. Always read your this thing agreements and all that. Okay, so how a wallet works is the reason they don't ask you for your email ID. Okay, and that's the whole reason is because they don't want to share your data with Google. It's because it's decentralized. So the first thing they're telling you is to make a password. So I'm just going to make a dummy wallet. I'll never use it, but I'll put the password as Aries crypto or something. So keep your password safe somewhere. Make sure you never forget it. And you click on create a wallet. And the next thing is the most important part. So when you create a wallet, you have to secure your wallet. So you secure the wallet. And this is how they differentiate each person's crypto wallet, like how to log in or how they different. Because normally you log into an account, you use your email. So that's how they differentiate, right? Here, this is how you differentiate. So you reveal the secret recovery phase. Now so these are the 10 or 10, 12 words they'll give you. So this is called the seed phrase. So these words for everyone who starts a new wallet is going to be different. You guys have to you guys have to write it down somewhere, or you guys have to take a photo and make sure you keep it safe, like nowhere. So I'll just write down my words. And you guys have to write in the same order. Like make sure the order is not changed. Make sure the word spelling is right, everything. Human clog. Okay, so this is my seed phrases. Okay, now I press next. So sometimes they'll give you none of the seed phrases and you have to like write it, all of them. Otherwise, they'll give you like this, the missing ones. So the third word is sadness. The fourth word is fat. Cube, lamp, flea, and after flea is journey. So I press confirm. So the wallet is created now. So this is your wallet. That's it.
So easy. It's so easy. It's easy to do making a wallet.
So this will be a portfolio. Like you can see your stake and all that stuff. 1 minute. How do I? Yeah. Okay. So remember when Anish was telling about these random characters you have to put on your forehead? This is that thing. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yes.
So that is your address. And if I copy my address over here, see? Now with this, anyone can send me or I can send anyone using this address. Like I can send them cryptos and I can receive cryptos. This is your main wallet. Now, if you want to buy, you click on buy. And there are payment methods to buy like that. Like how you normally buy, you can buy using your debit card, like your dad's debit card or your credit card or whatever. But only if he accepts and lets you buy. Don't just take his credit card and buy crypto. So yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys understood.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty easy. I mean, like it's pretty like on the face. Like they just tell you what to do. I just like showed you because just to get a rough idea, because you guys can just check out the YouTube tutorial.
Okay, thank you. And thank you so much for leading today's wonderful session on cryptocurrency basics. I think you're all clear. Your explanation and your expected level of cryptocurrency. I think I can see the face of our Aries career design club members. So happy to see this. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, George and Anish, Kurup. We are all really appreciate your time and effort and sharing your knowledge with us, with our Aries career design team. Looking forward to future sessions from George and Anish with you both. Once again, thank you so much for all and club members too for attending this wonderful session.